APT USDT Binance chart. Okay, guys. So as you can see, we have Aptos up on the screen. I should probably clear this off. Actually, I'll leave it. So before, I was monitoring this trend right here, and broke straight through and went right down to the golden pocket, which I pulled from the lows to the highs. So massive impulse from around the $3 to $20. If you rode this all the way up, congratulations. That was probably a beautiful trade. I scalped it here and there. I wish I kept some of the bags I bought pretty much in this area actually. But yeah, when looking up Aptos, it is currently trading right above this major golden pocket, and this is the biggest golden pocket you could possibly draw on Aptos. Doesn't get any more clear than that, and obviously the price action shows because it sold off, tapped it right here, impulsed up, sold off again, and hit it again. Now usually once support gets tapped, more times it gets tapped, the weaker it gets, but that's not to say it can't just impulse up higher from here, because it is support at the end of the day. Maybe bounce off this, play around a little bit, reclaim these levels before moving higher. All right. Bitcoin had a pretty big sell-off, so that is definitely possible. I feel like the market is due just for a little bit of an impulse back up, right? A move back up. So when looking at Aptos here, let's go out to the daily chart. There's really not too much to analyze. We can map out some of these support and resistance zones on the higher time frames. As you can see, it's clearly trading in this range right here, right? So this is clearly a range. So if you wanted to, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go long down here since it is support at the end of the day. And what you want to do is long at support, sell at resistance, right? So let's just say you wanted to do a long position here. Set your stops. You always want to do 1 to 2%. Realistically, you might want to set that stop below this wick, right? Because that looks like it was a lower low. Yep, $9.70. Whereas this one was $9.72. So that is still a lower low. If you want to play it tight, you can put it right below there, which is still 3% away. Still a little bit higher than the risk that I would like to allow. So maybe you wait till price comes down a little bit lower, maybe to around here before you enter the long. Set your stop right below there. 3% max. I usually do 1 to 2, but if you want to be a little bit, tap into the little bit of the degen side, 3% isn't terrible. But at the end of the day, you could always manage your position size so that a 3% loss is still only 1% of your position size. And how do you do that? Simple. You just trade with 1/3 of your account. So yeah, not a bad area to long here in my opinion. The stochastic RSI shows way oversold. I know there's a lot of people with mixed feelings about stochastics and RSIs, but to be honest, they are a pretty good trading tool as long as you use them with other things too as well. Because as you can see, let's just say if you wanted to buy when it hit the bottom, right? So here it'd have been a little bit hard because it kept on falling down, but in reality, that's why you use your stops. But a lot of times, especially on the lower time frames, even if we were to go to like the 8-hour for instance, or let's just say 4-hour, if you were to buy when it was oversold, you'd have caught this wave up. You'd have probably tried to sell there, waited for it to go back down to this area, which would have took a while, and maybe you'd have tried to enter in here again after a bullish confirmation. After the 6-hour closes, you got a little bit of a rise up, and then you hopefully would have took profits, move your stop to entry, so that this way you are in a winning trade. Then when this happens, it wouldn't have affected you. So now it's kind of like the same thing. You're back at the lows of the range. You can set your stops right down here, a few percent away. Manage your position size. Just say you wanted it to be right here. Manage your position size. So if it's 5%, you want to be trading with 20% of your account, right? So this way, if it does hit, that's still 1% loss. And set your targets to wherever you want. It could be back to the range highs. Maybe you want to bring it here just so this way it does get hit. That's a 41% raise right there, right? So that seems like one of the best ideas. Personally, I would like for price to come down, sweep the lows, come back up, get reclaimed, enter in right here on that reclaim, and trade up. Hopefully you get a lot of volume too as well. Now, keep in mind, if that fails, the next step is the 786. And same thing, same process. You don't want it to fail. Reclaim, enter, long, right? Because as you can see, there is another support zone right around here at that level. That is support. You can box it out too if you want. That is a support zone, right? It's zone. It's always a zone. Not a specific number, it's just a zone. Sometimes price likes to get pushed down to the lows of that specific number, but you can see a lot of times it likes to front run that price, reclaim, and then go a little bit higher. So these would be two technical entries which would make the most sense. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can definitely enter here, manage your position size, put your stop loss, but preferably I would like for it to sweep the lows, come up, and take that hopefully 41% gain, right? As for Aptos, that's pretty much it. It's a great project. I think it's gonna do good in the next bull run. I have a bag of this on my own, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding to it, and scalp here and there along the way. But for now, I think that is probably one of your best setups, right? And then always keep in mind to watch Bitcoin too as well, because whatever Bitcoin does, everything else does. Let's go ahead to this chart. And as you can see on Bitcoin, if I go to the daily, we just kept it really simple on this specific chart. On my Binance chart, there's a lot more going on. I don't want to dive into that right now. A lot of levels I'm watching, value area highs, point of controls. But here, just to simplify it, you see clear ranges, right? So let me go back here. As you can see, this is a range, this is a range, and this is a range. So price likes to trade within ranges. And if Bitcoin finds support here and tries to impulse higher, then that could only mean one thing. Aptos, more than likely, will end up doing, or should, can't say will, but should do the same thing, right? Go down, probably sweep the lows, reclaim, and impulse higher. So set your stops, be smart, manage your position size. Risk management is key, and safe trading out there. That's it for Aptos.